Okay, folks, this one's going to be more of a rant than anything else. Not really a regular Stive video, just something I wanted to kind of put out there. So, just had the most recent round of inductees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, a lot of the people on the list do deserve it, but one of the big controversies with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is what are known as rock snubs. That is, people who folks think should be in the hall, but aren't. And some of the names I saw this year really bring to mind a number of rock snubs. This year, we had Tupac Shakur in the Rock Hall of Fame. Previously, we had NWA and a few others. In that sense, it's rather mind-blowing that Chubby Checker is still waiting. He himself is pretty upset over it and has tried to protest on different occasions. Yeah. If not for Chubby Checker, Tupac, NWA, and those may not have even had a career. That's the big thing I want to say. If anybody from the hall is listening to this video, or anybody who is eligible for voting is listening, Chubby Checker, he should be at the top of the list next year. Period. And a whole bunch of other people I can think of who should probably be up for consideration as well. Chubby Checker's the main one. I just want to state that now. But there's a whole bunch of other acts that it's time. You've got people who should be in the hall 2, 3, 4, 5 times over by now. Maybe once, if they're credited at all. A lot of bands that really were pivotal, influential, and legendary are nowhere to be seen. A lot of non-performers, such as DJs and producers, who had a big role in things. Nope. Whole big list. Ronnie James Dio. He was in Rainbow, Black Sabbath, solo career. That's one big name who by our rights could be in the hall 3 times off of each. Sammy Hagar's got his solo career. He could be in for that just as well as he could be in for his time with Montrose, which is, depending upon who you talk to, the first American heavy metal band. And they got him in for Van Halen, but why not those other 2? He could be in the hall 3 times. Michael Schenker, Scorpions, UFO, MSG, all 3 groups that deserve to be in the hall based on longevity, influence, achievements, success. Scorpions was rocking out before some of the groups that were in there were even formed, before some of the members were even born, if you think about it. And you've got Jeff Downs and Trevor Horn. Most people, if they even know who they are, just think, oh, that's 2 of the people who are in the Buggles. You know, the band whose video was the very first to air on MTV. Yeah, the Buggles video killed the radio star, very first video on MTV. That alone deserves a little something, but that's not all they did. After a detour as members of the group Yes, that's correct, folks, they were in Yes, one of the most pivotal and influential groups of all time, Downs went on to form Asia, one of the bigger supergroups of the 80s. And Horn went on to be a producer, helped boost the careers of a lot of very successful people. So 3 times for both. And while we're getting into some of the lesser known names, you've got Eric Singer, who was in a number of bands before, during, and after his assorted stints in KISS. In fact, he's in KISS right now. Yes, KISS is inducted in the Hall, but he's not a part of it. The Hall only wanted to induct the original lineup. Reportedly, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley were so furious about the fact that subsequent members of the group were not going to be inducted, they called the Hall out on it. From what I understand, neither of the two men really like Vinnie Vincent, but they were wanting his name in there as well, because he was a member of the group, for better or worse. That should say something. You've got a lot of other musicians who name a band, they were probably in the background helping it get it done. Rudy Sarzo, Vivian Campbell, a number of others. You've probably heard of the bands like Alice Cooper, Whitesnake, Dio, Def Leppard. Def Leppard still is not in there, by the way. I cannot find any reason to justify why Def Leppard is not in the Hall. A lot of the people who should, by all rights, be honored because of what they've achieved, even if they didn't get the spotlight they should have deserved way back when. Why are they not in the Hall? That's what I want to know. And now you just go on and on and on. Casey Kasem, not in the Hall. Dr. Demento, not in the Hall. Weird Al Yankovic, the man whose career has outlasted most of the people he's parodied, who started before some of the people in the Hall made it to the Hall. Nirvana, who is in the Hall, one of their members said they didn't realize they'd made it big until Weird Al wanted to do a parody of one of their songs. Not in the Hall. Lita Ford, the first lady of heavy metal, someone who showed women can do rock and metal. Stryper, the people who made the concept of Christian metal famous and who caused a national discourse, perhaps even international, in the 1980s because, hey, it's a Christian group trying to do metal. Isn't that a contradiction? Nowhere to be seen. Cyndi Lauper. Yeah. I looked, and if her name's on there, on the list of people inducted, I missed it. She basically was girl power in the 80s. She and Pat Benatar. Benatar's in. Cindy's not. Can someone explain that one, please? Then we've got groups like Crimson Glory, Dream Theater, Sabotage, who pretty much pioneered what's called progressive metal, as in metal that is trying to be artistic. Apparently that doesn't count. Loudness, Japanese metal act, actually made the top 100 in America. They had an international following back in the day. I think they're still putting out music, even though the original drummer has passed away. They showed Japan can rock, and instead of bands coming to Japan, Japan is shipping someone out to the world. Nada. In fact, you get together people who are really hardcore into music, they could probably go on for about an hour or two talking about all the groups who aren't in the Hall. That by all rights really should be. So, just to keep this video from going on too long, just to recap, Chubby Checker, why is he not in the Hall? If there's people you would like to see in the hall, comment section is open right below. Let's hear some of your thoughts. I'm actually thinking about seeing what it is to contact the hall and actually finally ask what's going on, why some of these people who were really, really pivotal, who some of them were big names, or still are big names, why they aren't in the hall or anywhere near it, even though they've merited it. So, again, if you got some ideas, let's see. I'd like to see them in the comments below. Catch y'all later.